From the boxing ring to billion-dollar mansions, from sports cars to private jets, Manny Pacquiao's life is the ultimate rags-to-riches story. Once a struggling fighter with nothing, he rose to become one of the world's richest athletes. But what does that kind of success really look like? Today, we're taking you inside the luxurious world of Manny Pacquiao, his stunning mansions, exotic car collection, private yacht, and more. You won't believe the lavish lifestyle of this boxing legend. So, before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more amazing content. Let's get started. Born Emmanuel Dapadran Pacquiao on December 17, 1978, in Caba, Bukidnon, he grew up in General Santos in a family that struggled to make ends meet. When his parents separated after his father had an affair, young Manny was forced to grow up quickly. At just 14, he left home for Manila, living on the streets, working as a construction laborer, and making impossible choices, sometimes skipping meals just to send money back to his mother. His formal education was cut short, but his education in survival and in boxing was just beginning. Training in makeshift gyms and fighting in small venues, he quickly built a reputation for his relentless work ethic and explosive power. His rise in the sport was meteoric. At 19, he won his first major title, the WBC flyweight belt, marking the beginning of an unparalleled career. Over the years, he climbed through weight classes, demolishing opponents in spectacular fashion. He dismantled Marco Antonio Barrera in 2003, announced himself as a global force by shocking Oscar de la Hoya in 2008, and engaged in a legendary four-fight saga with one Manuel Marquez, culminating in one of boxing's most dramatic knockouts. His wars with Miguel Cotto, Ricky Hatton, and Antonio Margarito further cemented his status. And at 40 years old, he defied time by outclassing the younger, undefeated Keith Thurman to become the oldest welterweight champion in history. His fights were not just boxing matches. They were electrifying spectacles. His battles with Eric Morales and Timothy Bradley showcased his heart, while his much-anticipated showdown with Floyd Mayweather in 2015 became the highest-grossing bout of all time, generating over $1.2 billion in pay-per-view revenue. Through it all, he remained a fighter defined by speed, power, and an indomitable spirit. But boxing was just one chapter of his story. Pacquiao ventured into politics, first as a congressman in 2010 and later as a senator from 2016 to 2022. In 2021, he made a bold move by running for president, though he ultimately lost. Outside the ring and politics, he explored basketball, music, and acting, even landing a Billboard charting hit. His business ventures and endorsements built him a fortune, with an estimated net worth of $220 million. Despite his wealth and fame, he never forgot his roots. A devoted philanthropist, he has given away millions to support those in need, embodying the same fighting spirit outside the ring that made him a champion inside it. Manny Pacquiao's journey from a struggling young fighter in the Philippines to a global boxing icon is nothing short of extraordinary. Born into poverty, he found solace in the ring at the age of 12 when his maternal uncle introduced him to boxing. Inspired by watching Mike Tyson's stunning loss to Buster Douglas, he dedicated himself to the sport, training tirelessly in makeshift gyms and competing in local bouts. By 15, he was already recognized as one of the best junior boxers in the southern Philippines, prompting his move to Manila. At just 16, he made his professional debut as a junior flyweight, embarking on a career that would rewrite the record books. Pacquiao quickly made a name for himself, securing his first major world title at the age of 19 when he defeated Chache Sassical for the WBC flyweight title. His rise was meteoric, and he went on to conquer multiple divisions, making history as the first boxer to win world titles in 8 weight classes. He claimed 12 major world championships and became the first fighter to win lineal titles in 5 different divisions. His dominance extended across 4 decades, a feat unmatched in boxing history. Over the years, he squared off against some of the greatest names in the sport, leaving behind a legacy of legendary battles. He defeated 22 world champions, including Marco Antonio Barrera, Eric Morales, Juan Manuel Marquez, Oscar de la Hoya, Ricky Hatton, Miguel Cotto, and Keith Thurman. His relentless style, speed, and power captivated fans, earning him the title of the greatest southpaw fighter of all time, according to boxing historian Bert Sugar. For over a decade, he was ranked among the top pound-for-pound fighters, a fixture on lists curated by ESPN, The Ring, and BoxRec. His impact extended beyond the ring. He became a pay-per-view sensation, generating approximately 20.4 million buys and amassing $1.3 billion in revenue. At his peak in 2015, Forbes ranked him as the second highest-paid athlete in the world. His fight against Floyd Mayweather shattered records, becoming the highest-grossing pay-per-view event in boxing history. His career earnings made him one of the wealthiest fighters ever, yet he remained deeply connected to his roots, often giving back to his community in the Philippines. Despite his unparalleled success, Pacquiao never competed in the Olympics. He carried the Philippine flag at the 2008 Beijing Games, the first non-Olympian to do so for his country, and later entertained the idea of competing in the 2016 Rio Games when professional boxers were allowed. However, he ultimately declined. In a last attempt, the Philippine Olympic Committee petitioned for him to compete in the 2024 Paris Olympics, but he was deemed ineligible due to the age limit. After an illustrious career, he announced his retirement from professional boxing on September 29, 2021. However, he couldn't resist the thrill of competition, stepping into the ring for an exhibition bout against kickboxer Rikia Anpo in 2024, which ended in a draw. Though his days as a professional fighter were over, his legacy was already cemented. He holds 6 Guinness World Records, including being the oldest welterweight champion at 40 and winning titles across the most weight divisions. His influence on the sport is unparalleled, and his story, a testament to perseverance, grit, and unrelenting determination, continues to inspire fighters and fans alike. Beyond the bright lights of the boxing ring, his life has been a story of devotion, reinvention, and an unwavering commitment to his family, faith, and country. His journey as a fighter is legendary, but his life outside the ropes is just as compelling. In 1999, Pacquiao married Jinkee Pacquiao, the woman who would stand by his side through the highs and lows of his career. Together, they built a family of 5 children, carving their own paths in life. His eldest son, Jimuel, followed in his footsteps, stepping into the boxing ring as an amateur while also making a name for himself as a model and actor. Michael, his second son, chose a different arena, becoming a successful rapper with tens of millions of streams. Meanwhile, his daughter, Princess, became a YouTube sensation, kickstarting the Pacquiao family's growing digital empire. Even his love child, Emmanuel Bacosa, known as Amon, embraced his father's legacy, making his boxing debut in 2023, fighting to a draw before securing a victory later that year, which he dedicated to Pacquiao. Education had always been a missing chapter in Pacquiao's life, but he sought to change that. The most debated moment in his educational journey came in 2019 when he earned a bachelor's degree in political science, majoring in local government administration through the expanded tertiary education equivalency and accreditation program. While critics questioned how he completed the program so quickly, he pressed forward, later earning a master's degree in public administration in 2022. His faith has also played a profound role in his transformation. Once known for his extravagant lifestyle, he experienced a spiritual awakening that led him to evangelical Protestantism. He claimed to have had a dream in which he saw angels and heard the voice of God, a moment that changed his outlook on life. Since then, he has dedicated himself to preaching, often sharing his faith publicly. His commitment to service extended beyond politics and religion. He also served in the Philippine Army Reserve. Beginning as a sergeant in 2006, he quickly climbed the ranks, earning the distinction of Senior Master Sergeant before being commissioned as a lieutenant colonel due to his congressional status. Eventually, he was promoted to full colonel after completing military training. Best known as one of the greatest boxers of all time, his career extended far beyond the ring, venturing into basketball, politics, entertainment, and even music, proving that his ambition knew no limits. A passionate basketball fan, Pacquiao pursued his hoop dreams in 2014 by joining the Philippine Basketball Association as a playing coach for Kia Motors, an expansion team. He drafted himself as the 11th overall pick, making history as the oldest rookie in the league. Though he rarely played and contributed minimally on the court, his presence alone generated immense attention. His basketball journey also saw him forging relationships with NBA legends like Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen, even training with the Golden State Warriors. He eventually founded the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League in 2017, which transitioned into a professional league in 2022. By 2018, after playing just 10 games and scoring fewer than 15 points, he officially retired from the PBA, but not before stirring speculation about his desire to own an NBA team after retiring from boxing. His ambitions, however, stretched far beyond sports. In 2007, he made his first attempt at politics, running for a seat in the Philippine House of Representatives, but losing to an incumbent. Undeterred, he tried again in 2010, this time in Sarangani Province, his wife's hometown, and won in a landslide. He quickly made waves, earning praise for his speech on human trafficking, but also facing criticism for his limited attendance and legislative inexperience. Despite these challenges, he secured re-election in 2013. His political trajectory only intensified in 2016 when he successfully ran for the Senate, ranking 7th in the polls with over 16 million votes. Throughout his term, he championed sports-related bills and aligned himself with then-President Rodrigo Duterte. However, his frequent absences and inconsistent legislative output were widely scrutinized. In 2021, his political ambitions peaked when he declared his candidacy for president in the 2022 elections, vowing to eradicate corruption and provide nationwide housing projects for the poor. Yet, despite his status as a beloved national hero, his campaign struggled. When the results came in, Pacquiao finished third with roughly 4 million votes, conceding to Marcos in a landslide victory. Away from the political battlefield, he had a parallel life in entertainment. He dabbled in acting, starring in films such as Licenciado Cameo and Anak Incumander, both of which were met with tepid responses. His attempt at superhero comedy with Wapakman in 2009 also failed to leave a mark. However, his television presence was more successful, with hosting stints in various Philippine game and infotainment shows. In music, Pacquiao recorded multiple albums and even cracked the Billboard Adult Contemporary chart with his cover of Dan Hill's Sometimes When We Touch. Despite a brief feud with rapper Drake over a parody of his singing, Pacquiao's love for music remained, though he later admitted, "Music is not for me." Pacquiao's impact extended to global pop culture. His life inspired 2 films, Pacquiao, the movie, and Kid Kalafu, as well as a documentary narrated by Liam Neeson. He graced the cover of Time and Reader's Digest, was named one of Time's 100 most influential people in 2009, and appeared in Forbes' Celebrity 100 list. His likeness even made it into video games, including Fight Night and Mobile Legends, Bang Bang. Despite his ventures across multiple industries, he remains, at his core, a fighter. His career, marked by triumph and resilience, has also seen its fair share of legal battles and public scrutiny. In November 2013, just days after his victory over Brandon Rios, Pacquiao found himself at the center of a financial storm when the Philippine Bureau of Internal Revenue, BR, froze all his Philippine bank accounts. Authorities alleged that Pacquiao owed 2.2 billion Cuban pesos in unpaid taxes for income earned in the United States between 2008 and 2009. The boxer-turned-politician defended himself, presenting documents proving that his promoter had already paid the necessary taxes to the U.S. Internal Revenue Service, IRS. Despite this, the BIR insisted on its claim, asserting that Pacquiao still had obligations in the Philippines. The tax dispute lingered for years, and in 2017, Now serving as a senator, he attempted to negotiate a resolution with Philippine authorities. Beyond financial woes, Pacquiao ignited fierce backlash in February 2016 when he made a statement about same-sex marriage, likening it to behavior worse than that of animals. The comment, made in a video interview, drew sharp criticism from LGBTQ+ activists and celebrities. Nike swiftly severed its long-standing partnership with Pacquiao, condemning his remarks as abhorrent. Additionally, the Grove shopping mall in Los Angeles banned him from the premises, though he later issued an apology, emphasizing that his Christian beliefs opposed same-sex marriage but did not condemn individuals. The damage to his reputation was significant. His words continued to be a point of contention, illustrating the deep divide between his personal convictions and public expectations. More recently, he became entangled in a legal battle with Paradigm Sports Management. In 2021, the company sued him, accusing him of breaching an exclusive contract by allowing two separate management teams to negotiate boxing matches on his behalf. In May 2023, the Orange County Superior Court ruled against him, ordering him to pay $5.1 million in damages along with at least $2 million in attorney fees, both accruing interest. However, in a dramatic turn of events in August 2024, the verdict was overturned when the court determined that Paradigm CEO Audie Adder had not held the necessary management license under California law when signing Pacquiao. Despite these controversies, his legacy as a boxing icon and a public figure remains intact, a testament to his resilience in the face of both professional and personal challenges. His success in the ring has translated into a life of extraordinary luxury, marked by stunning mansions, high-performance cars, and extravagant possessions. His real estate empire includes a lavish mansion in Forbes Park, Makati City, a prime residential area in the Philippines. Valued at approximately 1.5 billion Cuban pesos, the estate sprawls across a 2,000 square meter lot with a grand 1,525 square meter floor space. The opulent home boasts 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and a 4-car garage. More than just a property, it became a symbol of reconciliation when Pacquiao gifted it to his wife, Jinkee, as a gesture of love after overcoming marital struggles. Across the Pacific, his real estate holdings extend to Beverly Hills, where he acquired a $12.5 million mansion. This American luxury retreat solidifies his presence among the elite and complements his growing list of prized assets. Yet his taste for opulence doesn't stop at homes. His garage houses an enviable collection of automobiles, each reflecting his penchant for speed, power, and class. Among his most prized rides are the Ferrari 458 Italia, a symbol of precision and speed, and the sleek Mercedes-Benz SL 550. His collection also includes the Lincoln Navigator, Porsche Cayenne Turbo S, Cadillac Escalade, and the formidable Hummer H2. The Mitsubishi Pajero, one of his earliest acquisitions, serves as a nostalgic reminder of his rise from humble beginnings to international fame. Beyond land and road, Pacquiao's affluence extends to the skies and seas. His 5-seater Bell Jet Ranger helicopter, purchased for 18 million Cuban pesos, is more than a luxury. It allows him to travel conveniently and reach remote areas for his philanthropic work. On the water, his super yacht, the Queen 888, stretches an impressive 45 meters, offering a master suite, 13 staterooms, a private alfresco area, a music room, and a hot tub on the main deck, a floating paradise befitting a boxing legend. His taste for the finer things is evident in his collection of high-end watches and jewelry, with coveted brands like Rolex and Patek Philippe gracing his personal collection. Designer clothing and accessories are staples in his wardrobe, while valuable art pieces and collectibles reflect his appreciation for culture and craftsmanship. Despite his vast wealth and luxurious lifestyle, Pacquiao remains grounded, balancing his indulgences with a strong commitment to philanthropy and public service. His lifestyle is a testament to both his achievements and his generosity. Before you go, don't miss out on exclusive perks. Click the link in the description to become a channel member and enjoy awesome benefits. like suggesting future video topics, getting early access to new content 48 hours before anyone else, and much more. Your support means the world and helps us keep bringing you the stories you love. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more amazing content. And while you're here, why not check out our deep dive into Don King's video, the most evil promoter in boxing history journey. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.